Ikea has been around for some time making smart home products. It first started out as a product called Tradfree and it's now moved on to Ikea HomeSmart. They produce lights, blinds and also various different sensors. Now Ikea are back with a air purifier, which the name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. But this air purifier works with HomeKit. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a hands-on, and I want to be clear on this. An hands-on review is simply that. It's not a full review. It's not my typical in-depth where I look at every single feature and how it performs. This is simply my first impression. And the reason why I'm doing this video, I've had a lot of interest, a lot of people asking about this particular product. I've had it about 3 to 4 weeks now, and it comes out in the UK next week. It's already out in Europe, so I wanted to get out some of the key things that I found so far, and then when I produce the main video, I'll cover things like the air purification performance. Hi, welcome back, and my name is John, and this channel is dedicated to everything HomeKit. We cover everything from news, reviews, and tutorials. Don't forget to check out the rest of the videos where we've got a lot of information that you might find useful. If you do like what you see, it'd be greatly appreciated if you hit the subscribe button and also the bell button. So let's have a quick look at what's in the box. First of all, you get the various different instruction manuals and information booklets. You also get the lid, which is made of MDF wood. The main air purifying unit is mainly plastic and it forms the main part of the actual unit. You also get the accessory box, which has got the power cable and the various different screws to put this together, and also 4 legs which fit on the bottom of the unit. Basically, you get everything in the box to get started, including the Allen key, in order to do the build. Now let's move on to the design. The Smart Air Purifier comes in 2 models, the first being a standalone unit and a side table version. Ikea shipped the side table model in either black or dark wood finish, or a white and natural wood finish. The standalone version costs £99 and the table version costs £150. Additional filters cost £9 with an optional gas filter at £15. I'm using the black and dark side table model in this video. The unit itself has a control panel on the front, and I'll touch on that later on in the video. Under the wooden panel on the top, you have a pairing and filter reset button. And the filter system has a pre-filter and then a PM 2.5 particle filter that's supplied with the unit. The air purifier supports rooms of up to 215 square feet, and you also have a compartment which houses the transformer and all the cables. Turning it over, you find one of the vents for the filter system along with the air purification sensor. Now moving on to setup. Setup is easy enough. You first turn it over, attach the legs using the screws and the supplied Allen key. This took me about 5 minutes. However, one of the legs was a little fiddly, and this is typical Ikea flat pack. You put it all together, and once it's done, you then turn it back over and remove the pre-filter and take the main filter out of the unit as it's inside a bag. So you take it out of the wrapper and then place it back in. You then place back the pre-filter. Now attaching the power supply, first open the compartment. Now, depending on the length of cable you need, you either feed the power cable through the hole or the power supply through the hole. I chose to house the transformer in the compartment as it was a lot neater and I need a shorter cable. You then plug the power cable into the air purifier and close the lid. Now the final part is to attach the tabletop to the unit, and this is done by inserting the 4 legs attached to the tabletop into the catch system on the main unit. Once you have them all in place, you then close them by pressing them in. However, I would not close them in at this stage as you need to take it back off again to pair it with the app. Once assembled, you then plug it in and it's all ready to go and ready to pair with Ikea HomeSmart app. Now moving on to setup. To get started and paired with the Ikea HomeSmart app, you first need an Ikea Tradfree gateway. Now, I already own one, so I'm not going to show you how to set this up. If you don't, then this is another £25, and you need this for smart control and to connect to HomeKit. So to get started, you open up the Ikea HomeSmart app and then follow the setup instructions. When prompted, you press the pairing button. Current users of Ikea Tradfree products will notice you do not need a steering device and it connects directly with the gateway. This is something that IKEA promised in 2019, and this is the first product to support it. Once it's all set up in the IKEA HomeSmart app, you are good to go. You'll also be pleased to know that it's also exposed to HomeKit already in the Home app. So from opening the box to assembling the unit and getting it set up within the app, it took about 15 minutes. And this is a great improvement over previous IKEA smart home products. Now, using the IKEA air purifier, let me first show you the front panel controls. You have a main dial that by pressing it turns it on and off. Turn the dial from 1 to 5 sets the air purifier at different speeds, with 1 being the lowest speed and 5 being the fastest speed. You also can set it to auto, which adjusts the speed of the fan based on the air quality levels, which is detected by the air purification sensor. You also have a LED that shows that if you have the child lock is on, and also underneath whether the filter needs changing. Technically, you could use the air purifier without any of the smart stuff by using a dial or setting it to auto, but you cannot turn on the child lock via the panel. So moving to the IKEA HomeSmart app, open up the app, you have various simple controls. First, you get an indication of the air quality. Then under, you have a slider, which again, you can control the device from 1 through to 5, and the power off button. You then have a auto button that you can press, and the device will decide what level it needs to run at. Then you have the child lock and a button to turn off the LEDs on the unit. If you click on the filter symbol, you also get an indication of how long before you need to check the filter and replace, with instructions on how to do it. But my favorite is the filter change guide that you can adjust the slider to the color of the filter, and the app will tell you if you need to replace. Now I just want to touch on the power off button. As you can imagine, this turns off the device. It also turns off the air purification sensor. So if the air quality deteriorates in the room, then it will not switch on, nor will any automations activate if you're using the sensor in HomeKit. It's just worth pointing that out, best leaving it turned on and auto. Now moving on to HomeKit. In the Home app, the air purifier and the sensor are exposed. If you click on the main tile, it turns it off. It also turns auto mode off. So again, the sensor is also turned off if you click on the main tile. If you long press on the main tile, you get more granular access, similar to the IKEA HomeSmart app, where you use a slider to turn it up and down. It's worth noting if you use any of the settings within HomeKit or even use Siri, it automatically overrides anything that you've done within the IKEA HomeSmart app, and that includes the automatic setting. Then you have the air sensor. This is an air quality sensor, and you get a reading of the air quality levels from excellent, good, fair, inferior, and poor. You can use this sensor in HomeKit automations. As I've already mentioned, any control via the Home app for HomeKit overrides any settings in the IKEA HomeSmart app. So you need to decide pretty early on which smart method you're going to use, but you can just set it to auto and never touch either app, and it will work, in my opinion, just fine. But if you are going to control it within HomeKit, then you need to be mindful that if anyone ever turns it off via the panel, then the air quality sensor is also disabled. So if you have set up an automation using the air quality sensor built into this device, then it will not trigger if someone has turned it off by accident. But one tip, turn on the child lock to prevent anyone turning it off via the panel. Then whatever route you have decided on smart control, you don't run the risk of it not working via either method. In terms of noise levels, IKEA says it's between 24 and 53 decibels depending on the fan speed. I tested it and it was between 20 and 51. Depending on the level set when I put it through from 1 through to 5. So my first impressions, I like the build quality, but be warned, it's typical IKEA flat pack standard, so don't be expecting solid wood. It's still MDF with a plastic body, but it feels okay. I did like how easy it was to put together, and IKEA has included everything in the box, from opening the box through to plugging it in and having it work in the IKEA HomeSmart app. It took about 15 minutes. I also like that IKEA has improved the setup process and you don't need to go through messing with pairing with steering devices first. This is a massive improvement and hopefully they'll roll it out to other products. The main confusion and conflict for me with this product is the way HomeKit overrides any settings, including the auto feature. And I found so far, leaving it to auto, it works really well. For example, it will not just turn the air purifier on and off. Once the air quality starts to improve, it steps down the speed of the fan until it's done its job. This means the fan is not going at full speed for the entire duration. and this will certainly help with noise levels. You also have to be mindful that if you do turn it off, then it also turns off the auto setting and the air quality sensor. At this point of my testing and using the device, I'm still torn if I should use it within HomeKit or just set it to auto in the Ikea app and let it do its thing. Right now, I'm edging towards the latter and not using it in HomeKit at all. Obviously, I need to do more testing for the full review, particularly around the air purification performance and how it performs in that regard. So guys, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you found this interim review useful, and if you have, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to check out the rest of the channel, and if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, and also check out our Twitter account at @followhomekit, and also check us out on Instagram, where we put a lot of behind the scenes information about things that we're working on. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon.